Hey guys, welcome back to Olivia's Blooms. Today I'm going to be planting some lupines that I started from seed. Now lupines are a beautiful, tall, very dramatic spike flower and great for cutting, but also beautiful in the landscape. They prefer cooler temperatures, so they are a little risky down in my area. I am in Charlottesville, Zone 7A, which is why I decided to start some from seed this year. And I started them in soil blocks. You can take a look. Now, I didn't get fantastic germination. I did put one seed in every one of these blocks, but I pretty much neglected them. So I am happy to have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants that came up. And that's actually the perfect amount for what I need. So my husband and I did actually buy 3 pink lupines from our local box store Lowe's. They were very expensive. They were a splurge. I could not resist them. I planted them earlier this spring. They immediately had transplant shock and their big tall blooms wilted and died. They bounced back, and honestly that was probably the worst time to plant them, but you know, we just could not resist them, and we're hoping that they will come back again in the spring. But I wanted to supplement them with some of these. Now I planted 2 colors from seed. I have the pink, and I'll put the exact name on the screen, and I have yellow, and I got these from Redemption Seed, so they're looking great. And again, one of the reasons that I love starting in soil blocks is that this is going to be so fast and easy to plant. So let me show you a closer look at the spot we are in my garden. Okay, so you'll have to excuse my shadow if it pops up. It's a little tricky this time of morning, but you can't really see it. But this was the spot that we had our 3 lupines. Here's one of them here. They have died back all the way already. And this is sort of the remnants of the plant. I am hoping they come back. They may not, but I'm gonna plan as if it will come back. Here is another one right here. So we planted kind of 1, 2, 3 in a swoop. And what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the pink that I grew, and I'm going to put one a little more up front here, right there. And then I'm gonna do one of the pinks back here behind, not behind, in front of this pretty rose right there. So you kind of take a step back. Should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up front. And if the ones that we planted from big plants don't come back, well, I've got plenty more seeds that I can try again. So I also have some supplies. I've got my trowel, my biotone starter fertilizer, and my compost. The last thing I need is just a hose to make sure these get nice and watered in. And let's get these planted. Now you might be wondering, where are the yellow gonna go? Well, I've got a spot for those in the front. Before I plant, I just need to take a moment to show you guys this orb spider. They are harmless and they're all over here, but this thing is gigantic. Try not to scream every time I see it. I remind myself, biodiversity is good for the garden. So we're gonna leave that guy alone. Okay, bye. Okay, so the process again for planting these is super simple. I'm just gonna dig a hole. I'll probably dig it just a little bit bigger than that to make sure that the new roots have nice, light, fluffy soil to move through as it gets bigger. But I'll dig the hole, I'll amend it with a little bit of the biotone and a little bit of the pay dirt compost. I'll tuck it in and then water it in. All right, let's get this planted. All right, there it is, all nice and tucked in. And let's move on to the next one back here. Another thing about lupins is you want to plant them about 12 to 18 inches apart. Growers who grow them for cutting may grow them closer together than that, but if you want it in your landscape, you can plant it a little bit farther away. And you can see here I am just digging a hole, and our soil is terrible. A lot of compacted clay. But I am gonna try and backfill with some of our native soil, just because if there are any microorganisms that have managed to survive here, you wanna make sure that you put those back in the soil with your plant, because that will ensure your plant's health. All right, let's add in our amendments. Our soil is also very dry right now. We have been going through a really long dry spell, as I'm sure many people in the United States are right now. So I'm hoping for some rain here soon. All right, let's put our plant in the spot we want it. And you might be wondering why I'm planting 2 blocks. Well, since this block didn't germinate and some of the roots have grown into this next block, I'm just gonna plant them both together and have as minimal root disturbance as possible, which always helps. All right, let's water these pink flowers in. All right, one more quick thing I want to show you while I'm here, and I'm going to show you in the front too. This is the Supertunia Bordeaux. This is just 3 plants, and even though the Supertunias are expensive, I always allow myself to splurge, because without fail, let me get my shadow out of the way, because without fail, they look amazing, even in my not so great soil. And I'll show you the ones in front too. This is the Bordeaux, and I've got the honey out front. Okay, so here we are in my front yard garden in the shade, which is really nice. And this is the Supertunia honey. This one, not looking so great, but again, this is some of the toughest soil on our property. This here is only 2 plants, and I'm loving, I don't know if you can see, but the color variation makes it look like it's glowing. Beautiful. Okay, so you can see that the color palette of the front yard garden, which my husband really designed, and I okayed the planting of the lupins with him here, is really hot colored. We've got yellows and reds and golds. And right here, I have 3 not blooming at the moment. We might get another flush. Oh yeah, see, I do see some buds, so we're gonna get another bloom. But we have a bicolored, can't really see it there, African daisy. It's yellow and red. It looks beautiful here, but it is only an annual, and so it's not going to survive our winter. So I thought if I can get the yellow and white lupins to grow here, that would look perfect. And these coleus are also only annuals, but we'll be going with the same color palette, I think. And backed by the Japanese maple, I think will look stunning. So I'm gonna put the lupins, the yellow ones here. I'll probably plant them a little bit in front, recognizing that I'm not gonna pull these back ones out right now, But if I really like the lupins and they do well here, again, I've got plenty of seeds, so I can plant 3 more behind. All right, so let's get the last 3 planted. All right, I've got the lupins placed approximately where I want them. Probably a little hard for you to see, but I did a little triangle here. I have one here, one back here, and one up here. Now, another thing I should have mentioned about these lupins is they are full sun. Now, this area does get full sun, a little more shade as you get closer to the house, but they should get about 6 hours here. And lupins do well with a little bit of shade in at least as south as we are. Now, they might be a little shaded out by these bigger plants at first, so I'm hoping that that will actually be good because we do have some really hot days coming up. I think I saw 100, which is crazy for here in September. But we'll have to see how they do. And I just realized that I actually have 4 of the yellow. Wow, surprise plant. So I think what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna space one here and one down here. And I think that will work well. All right, let's get these in the ground. Okay, here they are, all tucked in and watered in. And some of them looking a little droopy, but that's normal. And as always, I will keep you guys updated on their progress. Now, if I'm being honest, I'd probably give these a 50-50 chance of surviving, only because as I was digging through here, the soil is just so compacted. And with our 100-degree days coming up, I'm not giving them the best conditions for success in their early life. But again, this was really inexpensive and easy experiment and a fun little project for me to try. So thanks for gardening with me today, guys. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Hey guys, so I was editing this video and I realized there's a few things I didn't mention that I think are important. So I just wanted to hop on here and mention them real quick. So the first is that lupins are perennial, meaning they come back year after year. You might have deduced that from the fact that I said, you know, the ones we planted this spring, we hope will be coming back next year. Some varieties are better at coming back than others. I'm not sure about this exact variety. I'll have to look it up, but we'll find out if they survive. And the other thing I wanted to mention is you might be wondering, why am I planting them in the fall? Well, similar to things like foxgloves, lupins take 2 years to bloom. So my hope is that by planting them this fall, if they get established in the fall, that they might bloom next year and I won't have to wait another year, but we shall see. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the comments, but I just wanted to hop on here real quick and add those 2 pieces of information. Thanks, guys. No, I gotta set these in the word gorgeous.